Miro's still out?
Yeah.
What do you have to do to get back to sort of the smothering style that you've played? You've been able to slow them down.
Yeah.
You've been playing well.
Well, I mean, last game was obviously not the way we want to play, not a winning formula for us. So, we've played the way there's a path to winning this series, and I think it's in the two wins, the two games that we did win. So we got to replicate that.
Any other lineup changes?
No. Back in Bork out.
What have you seen from Oscar this year? We've talked to him on a lot of occasions, but his path to the NHL, he's really had to work to get here, and obviously you like him and trust him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, third round pick, right? Went to the American League, did it right, became a valuable player at that level. Took the step this year. He's an easy guy to play. He's big, he's long, he's got range, he's got a good brain for the game. He's always on the right side of the puck. Good penalty killer. He fills a need, especially this time of year. He's easy to play because you can trust him on the ice.
Go ahead.
Pete, at this point in the series, just how much tinkering or adjusting can you do? Because both teams clearly know each other so well at this point, or is it more about reads and execution from your players?
It's execution. I mean, we both have a game plan and a formula that will work to win on a given night. It's which team gets to that game quickest and stays in that game for the longest.
Pete, what's your philosophy on how much you talk to players, sort of the mental side of the game? I'm thinking of Mikko Rantanen. It feels like it's coming. He had a point-blank chance the other night, but how much do you check on him day to day, during the skates and say, how you doing,
Yeah, you know what? I think I think that's just a feel, There's days you check on him, and there's days that, I liken it to, a little bit of a marriage. There's some days, you're happy to sit down and talk with your spouse over all the things that are going wrong in your life, and there's other days you don't want anything to do with her or him, and you close the door and you just want time. So, that's a little bit of a feel. I think, you try and communicate if you feel like there's a need to communicate. And there's other times I think you have to have a feel like, hey, you know what? This guy knows, give him some space, let him figure it out.
And how do you think he's doing right now, 4 games into the series, in terms of that, his comfort level, his confidence?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think any of our big guys have delivered yet in this series. And he's not the only one on that list. So, but the beauty of this is it's time now. I mean, this is money time. So I actually like the fact that we haven't yet, because I think these guys are all due.
Along those lines, Harley, right? He's played so well at a rough game.
Yeah.
But he's still pretty young. Managed some ups and downs with him.
Yeah. Well, he had a rough game. Our whole team had a rough game. So, you can't hang that on him. The one thing about Thomas Harley and the reason that he was able to do what he did at the Four Nations and, basically come off vacation mode and step into a Canada-US game, in Montreal on a Saturday night, is because he has an unflappability and a confidence to his own game. There's rarely a time where, his self-assessment of his own game, and he's harder on himself than we can be. So, there's never a time you walk up to him with a computer or a clip and he doesn't already know, what happened or what he could have done better. So, that's I think what is going to make him a great player.
Late in the season. Money time. Sorry, you mentioned this is kind of getting into that money time. In your experience, do you feel a mood change or emotional change within your teams as it gets towards the finite part of a playoff series?
Oh, I think everybody's team does. All of a sudden, your summer is 5 days potentially away. 4 days away. So I mean that desperation. When it gets that close to elimination, I think everybody's team has a different mindset and desperation level.
Late in the season, you guys tried 7D a couple of times for different
Yeah.
reasons. Is that something that you look at and maybe bringing someone like Miro back in to ease them back in?
I mean, everything like that's on the table. We're not in a Miro come back in situation yet, so I don't want to get into hypotheticals. But if we do get into that spot, all those options are on the table.
How long does momentum last in a series like this?
Well, I don't know, Bruce. We'll see you tonight. Let's hope one game.
A game like this, I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, what's the mentality going into it when it's 2-2 and there's so much on the line in game 5?
Yeah, it's a 2 out of 3 series. You know what we fought for, home ice advantage, and you know, you go on the road and you try to take one to steal 2. We didn't, but we're in a good spot.
You mentioned home ice. You guys have been so good here all season long. What's the comfort level of being in this building in front of your fans?
Yeah, I mean, we got great fans, right? So they can play a huge part of it, and so excited to hear them tonight.
Seeing Miro?
Pardon?
Seeing Miro out there on the ice?
Have I seen him?
No. We saw him out there.
You saw him?
We did.
I saw him too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't know about his potential availability.
Neither do I.
Yeah. What kind of a boost would he potentially provide if he is available at some point today or in the games ahead?
I'll let you know how it feels when I see his name out there. So, but till then, I don't know.
With pressure of the playoffs, being a new father, does that help on the off days? I've seen videos, I've seen
Bringing the
stuff
dad
out
into
there.
it, eh?
Yeah, I mean, but it does make a difference at all because there is pressure, obviously.
Sure. I
but
mean, I think, you know, becoming a dad and, you know, I think seeing where your wife goes through and them becoming moms, I think that's, you know, pressure, and it puts things in perspective, puts life into perspective, and teaches you that hockey really is a game, and tonight's still a game that really want to win.
How's it changed your rest cycle between games?
Oh, she's doing all the heavy work right now, so, you know, love her to death for it right now.
goal scoring, I think you guys are tied for last right now, 1.75. Is there anything you're seeing or anything you guys can do differently? Or obviously you want to score. That's all you guys ever wanted to.
Yeah, of course. Good team over there in Colorado. They play well. I've talked about some adjustments tonight, and hopefully they work out.
Is there any emotional change as you get into Game 5 and later in a playoff series?
You know what? Everyone talks about it all the time. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. You win a game, you think you're going to win it all. You lose a game, you think the world's ending. So it's just about the team and individuals that can balance that the best that usually come out winners at the end.
I mean, it's so much on the line. What's the confidence level with this group going into? You all have been in these situations before. That helps.
Yeah, we know how to handle it. I think certain games in the series feel like must-wins, and I think Game 2 felt like that for us, and this one feels similar. So it's been a crazy series. I mean, I think people are getting their money's worth for sure, and both teams are playing really hard. And there's been crazy, you see at certain times one team's able to kind of really pour it on, and the other team's just taking on water, and that was us last game. But I think it's every game brings something new, and you got two teams that are probably capable of winning the Stanley Cup this year going at it in the first round. I mean, it's a lot, and it's a big test for all of us. And I think tonight you want to approach it as just another game, because you don't want to be too amped up or too nervous. But it's a big one. So we know this is kind of it's a best 2 out of 3 now. So getting the first one of those 3 is massive.
Home game, being back here, you guys have been great. Speak to what it's like to get to play. Talking about 2 of the 3 potentially being here in this building.
Yeah, I mean that's it's kind of when you're on a team like this, it's kind of what the regular season's for. It's kind of like, can you get home ice and a potential Game 7 situation or whatever. So yeah, we want to come out and establish our game tonight. We can be a lot better than we were last game, obviously. At the same time, we tip our cap to them. They were great, but we kind of allowed that to happen, right? So we've got a lot more pushback and a lot more in our game than we showed last game, and we're going to look to get that early tonight.
Chemistry for your line. I think this could be the sixth game together since the end of the season. Do you feel it getting right back to where it was at the beginning of the season?
We're working on it. I think we've had some looks. I mean, obviously those 2 connected on a big one in OT, which was great. I think we got another gear to get to. You've seen what we look like when we're going, but at the same time, this series is so tight. It's not like regular season. It's not free flowing. Hockey. It's very tight. It's team both. every time you're on the ice, you're trying to you're giving it everything you can to not get scored on and to try and make something happen on the other end. So they've been doing a good job. They're built more that way this year than they were last year, and we expect that coming in. And I think all of us as forward group need to find a way to ramp up, our offensive kind of output. I'm not talking on the score sheet. I'm talking more just controlling the game, and I think we've done that at times. And I think all of us are concentrated on that and just taking it one game at a time here.
Your coach said that if you told him months ago that you guys would be tied 2-2 in this series without Miro, without Jason, he would take that coming home. Is that kind of the mentality that you guys have, knowing that potentially one of those guys could be coming back?
Yeah, you know what? We're not thinking about it. The nice thing about what the team that Jim's built here is we're deep enough to have guys fill in. I mean, getting Miro back would be huge. Obviously, he's one of the best defensemen in the league, and then Robo, obviously a great goal scorer. Getting them both back, but we're not looking at that. The group we have is more than capable of winning a series, and we're deep enough to do that. And like I said, that's the team we've got here. And we're not looking forward. We're not looking at that at all. We're just worried about what we got right now, and worried about putting a good game on the ice tonight.